spent. What I would like to say firstly, before I say anything else, is can I thank the officers of this council, the staff of this council, and all those working within it for the hard work they've done throughout the year, the change which has been imposed upon them, the difficulties that they've had getting to this position through budgetary changes and jobs and whatever change. It's no easy task that they've been put through. It's not pleasurable and it's not been good to watch. And now we faced a decision which wasn't of this council's choosing, a single unitary, which puts extra pressure on the staff at a time they've gone through pressure. And we must remember that, because over and above whatever we choose to do as councillors, it's the officers of this council which actually do all the work. We councillors make decisions, but they do the work but facilitate those decisions. Well, the history of this council has been long now. When it started, it was forming together, and it abolished the boroughs and the rural district councils, and it was formed to represent those things. And in the main, I believe it's probably done that to the best of its ability, and it has changed political persuasion within its lifetime. So that's been a good thing. And it has been buoyant, and it has been political, and there has been challenge. And that's a jolly good thing. But there's been missed opportunities as well. We read in the budget today, 5.10 new home bonus, we're going to set money aside. We know as councillors, presently, there is a shortage of housing for young people in this Vale. We could have took a decision to leave a present for those people and invested some of the new home bonus in facilitating affordable housing. We could have took that decision. We aren't recommending that decision. And 6.1 in this budget proposal is rather states what's gone on in Buckinghamshire, doesn't it? 6.1, the government advises you to raise council tax to the maximum amount possible. It's rather familiar, isn't it? The government's imposed the council leader on the shadow authority. The government has imposed HS2 on the Vale. The government is going to impose a route for the new transport across the Vale. There's a theme here: democratic deficit, government imposing, and we react. Now, it's my job to challenge that, because there's too much silence around these issues in Bucks, because it's politically uncomfortable to say that the government is taking liberties with the democratic process of our councils. Yes, there will be a unitary body, and that's going to be difficult to form because of the decisions of the government who imposed a leader where I'm sure those councillors were capable of electing their own. Had that not happened, we may have been in conformity. There will be uncertainty until the 29th of March, until the paperwork's passed through the House of Commons due to the Minister's decision. That all puts pressure on people to make decisions and compromise as to where they go. I don't know how legally they can proceed with any decisions until such time as they've got a constitution drafted to actually be able to do it, because otherwise they're actually ultra virus of any legal process. Now, I'd like to be advised that that's different, but that's my personal opinion. Now, going forward, we have to realise that we are now raising the council tax again by £5, which is 3.5%. That may be affordable to us in here. Pensions haven't gone up by 3.5%. Pensioners are not getting any increase. Benefits are shrinking. We have benefit changes in single universal credit, which is going to put stress on the community. And we have a new council coming forward who's going to inherit all those problems, plus austerity, which was imposed from 2010 to now on local authority finances. Now, that may have been took for political reasons. I still believe that was a political choice, because when there's money needed for other projects within the country, they can be found. When there's money needed for that, it can be found. I think that that has put an totally burden on local government that has caused more hardship and decisions paid. We lose staff on a regular basis throughout this change through financial decisions. The unitary council is going to be formed, hopefully taking forward all the staff. I'm not certain at this position where our staff's position is in that. And as I stand here as a district councillor, and the unitary local authority shadow board hasn't been formed, I have to speak on behalf of our staff. I worry about our staff, and I want to be assured that somebody will take them back through into the family of local authorities, because they work very hard for this council, and I'm not sure that's the case at this point in time. I see lots of headlines and lots of total headlines and press releases. But unless I'm wrong, until such time as there's a legal position stated and there's a meeting of the Cabinet, of the Shadow Cabinet, no real decisions on the unitary can go forward. And any decision they take before that is ultra-virus. So we talk about this unitary council in pleasantries as councillors. What we must be assured is that council's on a legal footing and it isn't actually acting negative. Yes, we all want a unitary council and we all want services to be improved in Bucks. But we have to be minded to the fact that we have got residents who will be paying £5 more a week at the time that they haven't actually had an increase in their pension subsequent to that. You go to one of those pensioners and say, well, you've got to find another £5, that'll be okay, won't it? They can't do that. And it won't be all the pensioners who are necessarily in the benefit stream. It'll be those pensioners who don't get benefits, who are living on a fixed income, of which they're unable to earn any more money, will be squeezed the most. So in doing this, my verdict's to be convinced about this budget, to vote for it. I find it very difficult with the recommendation 6.1 when the government's telling me to vote for an increase to actually acquiesce and support the government, because that's not in my nature to support the government, funny enough. I don't think I was elected to support a Conservative government. So I'm waiting to be convinced to support this budget. But I must say that in following this, I pay credit to Andrew Small for the time he's put into this and the hard work he's put in. I pay credit to the Cabinet member for doing his job, which is preparing this budget. I'm not criticising him personally. He's done his job, which is prepare this budget. What I say about the surround and the history we get in it, he's very much a victim of the situation. And I was pleased to hear Councillor Mordew mention the fact that we're in this situation because of the government. I think that honesty and that sincerity is appreciated. We are in this situation financially in making cuts and having to do stuff long term because of that. All the hard work's been done in previous budgets to get this budget into balance. So we're almost rising up on the backs of people who have gone before us. But I will say that I'm still to be convinced, judging by the behaviour between all parties on the unitary on both sides, that they're able to actually agree on the opening up of the coffee pot and opening the biscuit tin yet. So being as they're not in conformity and they haven't even agreed and there's legal challenges going on, I'm yet to be convinced. And if that's the sight of how the new unitary is going to function and it can't agree on its way in, it's a shabby affair. Whatever I say about the district council, and I've challenged budgets here on a regular occasion, I've appreciated the honesty and sincerity of the leading group in this council and preparing it and acting in conformity to their beliefs. I'm not sure where we are going forward as a unitary. I would like somebody to take them to one side and advise these councillors in Buckinghamshire that in the end we're here to represent people regardless of your politics. And we have got a decision which was against what this council wanted. But we must ask them to pull together and actually get on and work, because in the end it's about constituents, and I don't think they're there now. I'm waiting to be appointed to something myself, but maybe I will get an appointment from some great body above me to say that I'm fit to do something based on no electoral accountability. It may be attendant at the Lollipop Man, but it might be something minor. But I'm waiting for somebody to appoint me without a democratic vote. But I am not impressed in the way it's going. If the first decision of the unitary authority was an undemocratic one, how do we trust any decision thereafter? But saying this, no criticising of the officers preparing this, no criticising of the councillors who delivered this budget. I just find it really sad that we're in a situation because of 6.1 where the government tells us we have to implement a council tax rise. The government's telling you again. As I said, earlier on, HS2, the road through Bucks, the growth in housing we're going to have forced upon us, all decisions forced upon us. No democratic accountability, no consultation, no involvement in local councils in those decisions, and it's a narrow majority view of government. It shouldn't be. If it was a Labour government, it would be just as wrong. The fact that it's your Conservative government, you must be more angry than I am.